it's Kristen Clark with ageofthenerd.com. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So you talk about, just what it was like to bring this massive world to life. Like I was, reading a little bit and it looks fantastic. The fans are thrilled with it.
Yeah, I actually, I was working on another Amazon project and then this sort of and it wasn't ready. And I thought that was big. And they said, oh, in the meantime, we're going to do, because they had to put that aside. And Jonah said, oh, we just got the script for Fallout. And I went, oh, and I knew the game a little, but not right, really, only peripherally. And he handed it to me and I'm going, oh my God, this is bigger than the other thing. How? And so how are we going to do that? And then I said, and then we talked about it. And I said, the challenge here is that, in like researching it and going on like YouTube to look at tutorials and things that fans were making, and suddenly I realized how big and worldwide the fan base was and how they analyzed every moment of certain things. And then they do whole edited things like of whole storylines of, here's raidering, how to build your own raidering encampment or whatever it was. And I was going, and they spent hours on it. I'm just going, oh gosh, everything I do will be analyzed frame by frame. But I also began to love it. The more I looked at it, the more I began to like it. And I just wanted to give it like a giant hug. And so so I so fortunately we had such a good group of people, and the writing was so good because it was really so, like, it popped out of the game. It really captured the weird humor and the drugs and all the other things that are in there, and the sadness too, of the despair of it all. But yet laughed at it because I worked on Westworld with the executive producer Jonah Nolan, and
Yeah.
that's a whole. And I look at it and go, this is like so not slick, or Westworld's black, white, gray, and red for blood, and that's about it.
Yeah.
This was colors, so it was a real. We had to really step out of our comfort zone in that way, but that was what the game was. Once we started getting into it, it's great. We could sort of fall out locations. You could just go there and go dump a bunch of sand, throw in rusty cars, add some crazy ass sign or weird some piece. You had to always have some piece of retrofuturistic technology that was destroyed or left behind. But that was really fun to do. So it was super fun and super hard.
So, and did you have some I mean, being that this is kind of an extension of the
Yeah,
story,
no,
did
it's
you
not.
have some creative freedom to be able to add some new things as well?
Well, yeah, and that had to. In order to do that, I had to really get to know the game, and
Mhm.
I had a researcher, and we really looked through everything, and then so I sent out the initial concept in an early meeting, and sat down with everybody in Bethesda, and Bethesda sort of went, "Oh, you're doing the
Oh,
game," and I said, yes, I'm going to do the game. And they said, great. And then they just let me go. And then I would go to them to say, hey, I have to do a map of the United States with all the vaults indicated on it. I
wow.
can only find 25 in all the games that I actually know where and I said, and I need to make this in 3 days. So can you guys, so they all got together and they give me the information. I said, I want it to be accurate, and to you guys. And they gave me the locations of all those things. But for instance, we got to do lots of new things. So like even in the beginning, there's a party in the Hollywood Hills. You've never seen skyline of LA. It's not in
Right.
any games. So I took stuff from Boston mostly, the Boston in I think Fallout 4, and then kind of made it more West Coast and made it more. There's a kind of architecture called Googie architecture, like at LAX they have that kind of crazy restaurant. It looks like a.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's Googie architecture. So we added more of that stuff in there. And then in the game, the houses are always these tract homes where the guy comes and tries to sell you a thing to, and I said, no, this guy's a company executive. And so I said, I wanted to live in a super mid-century thing. Also, there's an atomic bomb going to go off. So, a glass house is the worst, so it
Right.
was all, so that's not game, that's not on any game.
Right.
Mr. Handy is there, the TV's there, other stuff. So
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes out to speak with me. I appreciate it. We absolutely adore the season. You've done a fantastic job.
oh, thanks. It
Thank
was
you.
a great opportunity.
Bye-bye.